Hello and welcome to another edition of On This Planet Earth. I'm Mark Gilchrist and I'm in Hanoi, Vietnam right now. But this week we're going to visit my childhood home in Puerto Rico. We're going to do some time travel here. A dual flashback, okay? Let's start with 10 years ago, 2008. My brother who lived in California, let's take a trip to Puerto Rico. I'll meet you there. And we did. Why? We lived there for 3 years in the late 60s. We went to Puerto Rico in search of our childhood home. What we found was a time capsule. You and I, all our adult lives, we tell people I used to live in Puerto Rico. But the reality is we kind of didn't. We were very sheltered. Very rarely went off base. We had a Puerto Rican gardener. We had a maid too, didn't we?
Yep. Yes, and she taught Mom how to cook Puerto Rican food. And we used to collect the lemons and the avocados off the trees and go around and sell them to people. And we'd collect them in their backyard and sell them at the front door. And then, for some reason, they would buy them from us.
Now, yes, we lived on an Air Force base, but my father was Navy, a lieutenant commander. Dad's job was to listen to Russian submarines sailing around the Caribbean. He managed a small facility on the north shore of the island that was part of a SOSUS array of underwater microphones. It was very top secret. We thought he just managed a weather station. I don't think my mom even knew. He had an official staff car with a revolver in the glove box and a briefcase that had a hidden microphone and tape recorder. We thought that was so cool. Yeah, so we lived on Ramey Air Force Base. Right near it is a Hewlett-Packard facility. We lived right up here on Hook Road. And you see over here was the officers club. We used to go down there a lot, swim and swim and swim. See, it's all filled in with concrete. Then over here was the naval facility. Ramey, with its strategic location, was the largest Air Force base in the world. The base closed down just a few years after we left in the early 1970s. And most of it was given back to Puerto Rico. But the U.S. Coast Guard still maintains a base out there, so much of it was still intact and still like we had seen it. It was amazing. All of the homes were still very much like they had been 50 years ago. The house we lived in was made of concrete and so distinctive. Just everything about it I could remember, even 40 years later, right down to the tile on the floor. We'd hoped to visit and maybe see remnants of it. When we first arrived on the base, we drove right past the house and nobody was home. So we really couldn't knock on the door and wander through our childhood home. So we hung out for a couple days. Moving there from Maine, we of course, as little boys, we complained about how hot it was and we didn't get any snow and all that stuff. But I'll tell you what, living on a military base overseas is idyllic. It's just a beautiful community, very secure, very sheltered. All the recreation facilities you'd ever want. It really was a neat life for 3 years. We wandered into a few places I guess you'd call thunder holes, and that was pretty cool. And then we even tried our hand at surfing ourselves. And we took a kayak out for a while and enjoyed some of the coastline. Every day we went past 63 Hook Road and nope, nobody was home. Darn it. So Doug and I went and visited places around the base that we used to hang out. The movie theater, the skating rink, the ball field where we'd play Little League baseball stuff. It was all there. Concrete. The dugouts. The skating rink, it was still all there. Our school also was very cool. Hadn't changed much at all. Of course, it's now all government offices for the Coast Guard. Finally, I think it was our last day we were there. We drive past 63 Hook Road and there's a car in the driveway. So we piled out of the Jeep and climbed up the lawn, knocked on the door, and sure enough, it was a young couple with a few kids, and they had been on vacation for the week. They were more than happy to show us around. It was incredible. Of course, all the furniture was different, but the whole house hadn't changed. The same tile. It was really a time-warping, mind-blowing experience for us. Thanks for hanging. That's my report on our time warp trip to Puerto Rico. I'm Mark Gilchrist, and I am, and you are, we all are, on this planet Earth.